The evolution of the player experience in Dead by Daylight. Now, I'm not going to be talking about the differences and similarities of the player experience from 2016 compared to now, the main reason being I didn't play in 2016. Instead, we're going to be looking at how the player experience evolves the more hours a player puts into DBD, and how this relates to some of the core issues of the game. Before we get into the video, I just want to mention that 98% of you guys aren't subscribed, so if you know you want to be a cool kid, subscribe. Because if you don't,
the spider will crawl on you when you're sleeping.
But anyway, let's get into the video. The beginner experience of Dead by Daylight is very important, because it's the first impressions that will determine if the player will want to come back. And DBD does a pretty good job of that. Hell, if it didn't, I wouldn't be talking right now. If you're like me, and I think most people are, you looked at this game and thought, holy shit, Michael Myers is in this game, Leatherface is in this game, and it's multiplayer and I can play with my friends. Then you buy the game and you are scared shitless the first few matches you have, but you're having the time of your life and keep coming back for more. This is where the relationship starts. The intermediate experience. So you've put a few hours into Dead by Daylight and the horror aspect of the game is starting to wear off. You start to learn from your mistakes and how to loop the killer efficiently. Or you just unlock urban evasion and find a corner like every one of my goddamn teammates. You also start to notice major flaws in the game and also with its development. But you're distracted with learning everything there is to know about the game to worry about that as of now. In my opinion, this is the best experience you will ever have playing this game. Simply because the game is still fresh with new things to do and new things to learn. You'll likely be green ranks, which I gotta admit is my favorite rank, just because you can play casually and have fun without needing to sweat. You're also 10 million times less likely to get Spirit, Deathslinger, or Freddy every match. Now we get on to the final stage of the Dead by Daylight player experience. And boy is it a painful one. At this point, you're pretty good at the game, you know what decisions to make, and have mastered all the tricks in the book. Along with that, you are absolutely fed up with behavior's shit. When it comes to behavior, they never do what's right for the game. I mean, they do, but they don't do it out of the kindness of their heart. For example, they will make fixing a bug that has garnered a lot of attention a priority, even though they still screwed that one up, but they won't fix core game mechanics such as hitboxes, or Ghostface's stupid power, because posting that they finally fixed dedicated servers won't grab as many eyes as the new Resident Evil chapter. It's because of the developers and their ignorance to improve the game that pushes the veteran players away. And well, that's a pretty big issue for many reasons. Number one, the game doesn't get the criticism it deserves without veteran players. They're the ones that know what's best for the game, and they're the ones who will know what kind of changes to push for. Number two, queue times would be fixed. Unlike what you think, long queue times aren't behavior's fault. There's simply not enough players actively playing the game. But there would be many more active players if behavior wasn't actively pushing players away. So scratch what I said earlier, queue times are behavior's fault. Number 3, skill-based matchmaking. Now everyone complains about their teammates being shit at the game, and how even in the red ranks you get players who play like they're rank 16. Now this isn't because everybody is bad at the game, but because, like I said earlier, all the veteran players are getting pushed away from the game. Now take a look at this terrible chart I made. A scale of 1 to 20 determines the skill of a player, 1 being a beginner, and 20 being a seasoned player. Players with a skill rating of 1 to 5 make up the white ranks, 6 to 10 make up the yellow ranks, and 11 to 20 are scattered across green, purple, and red ranks. That's where the shitty matchmaking occurs. Some veteran players will get bored of the game, only playing occasionally, causing them to sit around green ranks. Other veteran players might be committed to DBD and play all the time, causing those players to be in red ranks. And there's so many other variables that would take me forever to go over, these variables being the reason different skilled players are scattered across ranks that they don't belong in. These 3 problems could easily be fixed if the developers would do their jobs and give the game what it needs. Not only do they need to make the game more functional and less buggy, but they need to try something new. No matter how good your game is from a technical perspective, people will easily lose interest if there's nothing new to do. One killer every few months isn't even close enough to freshen up the gameplay. New game mechanics need to be implemented into the game. Hell, if they just added a new item, that would be enough for me. Like the last new game mechanic they added was the endgame collapse. And how many years ago was that? Anyways, that's all I got for today. I'll see you guys in the next video.